Hi, it's Rachel and welcome back to our mini video series, Building Resilience as a Leader. Let's start by having a quick recap from the previous conversations we've had in our last two videos. I really hope you've been enjoying these conversations. We used the first video to talk about why resilience is so important, particularly to you and your future success as a powerful, impactful, courageous female leader, and why cultivating that resilience is going to be your superpower to ensure that your business grows on solid foundations, that it's protected, and that you've got everything you need to lead it forward. That resilience is key so that you don't give up on your big dreams, your mission, your vision for your business, and it's going to help you regain perspective and motivation when you hit challenges, which you inevitably will, we all will, and it will be how you ensure that you have more fun and enjoyment on this adventure of entrepreneurship as well. So resilience can not only help you to take life and business to the next level, it can also help you not to take yourself too seriously. So we want to cultivate our resilience so we can look at our setbacks through a more objective lens. So we can step back, you can coach yourself through difficult times, or you feel more empowered to ask for help or support. I want to remind you that this is our time to step up and find our voices, to create more impact and change, and resilience is what will unlock that determination and courage. In the second video in the mini-series, we then went on to talk about the more practical skills and techniques that we can use to cultivate more resilience in the everyday. And we agreed that it's all well and good, can understand how important resilience is, but how do we actually grow our resilience day to day so that we can learn how to bounce back quicker? That's what resilience is, right? It's the ability to bounce back from our setbacks. And the first thing we talked about in that video was the importance of having a strong support system, having a mentor, a coach, a peer group to cheer you on, help you navigate your problems, and to get that level-headed and objective sort of sounding board so you can step outside of your problems. And I want to remind you this is nearly always the key finding from research studies that have been carried out about how to empower female leaders in particular to succeed. We are tribal creatures and we crave connection, collaboration and belonging. I think even more so on the back of the pandemic. We know that to rise together, there is so much power in being in that supportive community. So resilience comes from cultivating that community. And we also talked about having a growth mindset. So knowing and believing that any skill can be learned, that you can grow, that you can get better at anything you set your mind to. And that might not be that you're good at certain things in your business right now. You might think you can make peace with that, but with effort and patience and dedication, you believe that you can always improve your performance. I talk to my kids a lot about growth mindset. It's particularly important for children. But I think as we get to adults, we forget that this ability to look at mistakes, to look at these perceived failures in our lives, just as data. Like it's information, and then it's a way that we can learn and an opportunity to find ways to do things better the next time. And this helps to grow resilience very quickly because you get back in the race and you develop this positive mindset, this positive outlook that will improve very quickly alongside your leadership skills. So it's this sense of having a thought in our mind that says, okay, that didn't go quite how I wanted, but I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to fall into a hole of criticising myself. I'm going to firstly celebrate that I tried something new and it's a skill that I haven't quite mastered yet. And then I'm going to work out how I do it better the next time. And maybe when I need help from others, I will feel confident in asking for that help, or I might just delegate it somewhere else because it's not a skill I want to improve. And then last but definitely not least, in that second video, we looked at our general well-being, our everyday emotional and physical health. Super important. You know that, I know that. In order to be resilient and strong, we have to look inward. It's driven almost entirely by how well we are taking care of ourselves, our body, our mind. So we touched upon things like sleep, diet, our exercise habits, the time that we're carving out to spend happy moments, really relaxing with friends and family, or pursuing our hobbies, just getting to switch off from our business and not being 100% in the business. Our brains need time to chill out and slow down. And ironically, that's when your creative juices flow the best. But Like me, if you're an A-type overachiever, you'll have a tendency to neglect yourself, particularly if you've got children or caring responsibilities. Then the situation can get a little bit out of hand. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, you can be running or find yourself running on empty fumes. It's not sustainable. So there was a reminder in that video, an invitation to basically explore where you are right now, what you have in place. How high do you think your resilience levels are right now? To take that objective look at your support network, who do you trust, where your mindset's at, do you feel stuck or frustrated, or how is your everyday well-being? They're big topics, right? Huge. And just to top it all off, we also touched upon how life happens to all of us. It's a roller coaster, ups and downs, but because we, as the leaders of our business, are the biggest asset in our business, then when these personal setbacks happen, we have to go easy on ourselves and take the time that we need and the support that we need. Because if we just have that alpha energy of just powering on, distracting ourselves with work, getting really busy, I mean, sometimes that can be good and necessary. It's like a coping strategy, but longer term, it leads to greater problems and hold us back. And life can be hard, and those difficult times can actually hold incredible gifts that will help you to grow, become a better human being, and therefore a better leader and inspirational to others. But you have to take the time to allow the healing so that you can actually really overcome that adversity that you've been through and regain your strength again. So that I wanted to really bring it into this conversation because it is at the heart of this new style of compassionate leadership, which I really look forward to talking to you about in the weeks and the months ahead. It's one of my favourite things. But for now, in the context of this mini-series about resilience, I just asked you to reflect back and maybe think about some tough things, some times you've been through in your own personal life. And I shared some of the things that I've been through and asked ourselves the question, well, how did we respond? And how might we do things differently, decisions that we made in our business or career at that time. If it was to happen again, would you do it differently? And if you're in the midst of some tough personal challenges right now, and this conversation that we're having, if it made you stop and think about how you want to handle things and what you need. So there is a lot going on about this conversation about resilience, isn't there? There's a lot. And the intent of this mini-series is really just to get the conversation going. We just don't talk enough about these things. We're not honest enough about our challenges and our problems and what we need. And being an entrepreneur and a leader, it's a journey, it's an evolution, and it's a commitment to grow. So I'm also asking you in these videos to stay with me, to stay in the conversation so we can journey together and grow together, and that's where the power is.